Hey, YouTuber Goobers, how's it going? So, today it's Valentine's Day, so I've got my red on, because, Valentine's Day, red, all about the hearts and all that. I got myself some candy, some nice chocolate, dark chocolate, of course, because that's my favorite. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Valentine's Day and what it means to me. It's so good. I'll be honest with you. Valentine's Day doesn't mean a lot to me. It really doesn't. I've gone through several relationships, and in each relationship, we just sort of treated Valentine's Day as, just sort of this manufactured holiday, and never really got into it that much. I was really planning to go on this whole thing about Valentine's Day and how much it doesn't mean to me. And it's an okay holiday, but there's something else a lot more important to talk about, and it happened today, of all days, Valentine's Day. As you've probably already heard, there has been yet another mass shooting, this time in Parkland, Florida, the state that I live in. Parkland is just northwest of Fort Lauderdale. It's a nice little suburban community, one of the safer communities in the state. And the details are still coming out, but as of right now, kid came in, he set off a fire alarm, and he started shooting. And as we know, as I said, Valentine's is all about the heart. Well, today, as of right now, 17 hearts were stopped because of this gunman. That's right, 17 people have died. Not sure exactly how many have been injured as of yet, and these are just preliminary. I mean, they're numbers. They're numbers because that is what everything is seen as. Regardless of how many people were killed and injured, hundreds in Las Vegas. 49 people killed at the Pulse Nightclub in Orlando, not far from where I live. And yet, to people like most of the people in the Republican Party and the National Rifle Association, the NRA for short, these people are just statistics. They're not flesh and blood human beings. Oh, sure, everyone's going to offer up their thoughts and prayers. But you know what? Thoughts and prayers don't do squat. They don't. After all these recent shootings, it's only been about a year and a half since the Pulse nightclub shooting, no meaningful legislation has come out of Congress to help stem the violence. And the reason has to do with, of course, the NRA. A lot of people in Congress, mostly Republicans, are bought and paid for by the NRA. That's just how it goes. And so they make sure that legislation, any legislation, even common sense legislation like background checks, like closing the gun show loophole, making sure that people are properly trained in gun safety. Even our own president, the president, I won't say my president, that's for sure, but the president rescinded an order that kept the guns out of the hands of people who were mentally incapacitated. So now anybody can go buy a gun regardless of their mental stability. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. But any kind of common sense legislation gets stopped. It doesn't matter what kind, it gets stopped. And that's the America we're living in right now. And it's just so maddening and so frightening, And you know what? I know that if things go the way they continue to go, we're going to see more and more shootings. I knew this after Pulse. We were going to see another horrific mass shooting, and we did in Las Vegas. So I guess the question is, what can you and I do? Now, I know that if I were to contact Senator Marco Rubio here in Florida, I would just be treated with well, he offers up his condolences and prayers, just like the president did. So I think what we need to do is make a concerted effort to vote, to make our voices heard at the ballot box. Now, we have the midterm elections coming up. Primaries are going to be starting very soon. And we need to really use our voices to vote for people who are for common sense legislation. Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. You know, I mean, I believe in a person's ability to have a firearm to protect themselves. That's fine. But you don't need an AR-15 to protect yourself. You don't need an AR-15 to hunt. You know, it's pointless. You don't need high-capacity magazines. You don't need semi-automatic weapons to do anything, you know? It's ridiculous. So when the midterm elections come up, go, vote, please do. And I know the midterms, people are just sort of, you know, they get that out of their minds. They're more concerned with, you know, the big elections, the presidential elections, the next one's in 2020. We can't wait until 2020 to make big change. We have to make that change now. So please, do what you can. Contact your representatives if you want to. But I firmly believe that we need to go out and vote for people who are going to have our safety and our best interests at the top of their priorities, and not the money that they get from the NRA. Because if we keep going down this path, more and more people are going to get killed every single day. Okay. So, I'm going to step off my soapbox now, and please take care of one another, love one another. Eat chocolate. It makes you feel better. Happy Valentine's Day.